Hello, David Paul here. I'm in woodland site number 1, and what I'm doing is I'm just checking on my logs, see how they're getting on, and it's developing well here. I'm really surprised. It's been, I guess it's been about a week since I've been here, maybe not even that long. But what's surprising is these logs here. You can visually see how different they look because they're starting to dry out now. This has got a lot of the face taken off on the other side, so it's drying well. These ones will take a bit longer to dry, these ones here, but this one will dry really fast. And this one being longer, of course, and fatter, it'll take longer to dry. So anyway, I'll come along to just check on them. And I've also bought myself a new bore saw, which I tried out on one of these logs, but unfortunately the log is lying awkwardly and it's tending to close on the saw, so it's not giving a good representation of how well it works. But I'm having problems charging up the chainsaw because you have to charge and charge and charge. You're at it all the time, you know. So I thought I'll do a bit of bore sawing, and anyway, it's always a useful thing to have if your power saw runs out, you know, and if you need to cut a bit of wood just normally, it's a lot quicker than a normal hand saw. So anyway, looking at the logs now, these were very heavy to move into position when I first cut them, and if I just loop the saw down over this log here, I can just readily just lift that up. Now I know that I could lift this log previously because I did. I lifted it and I carried it here, but it was stinkingly heavy. There's a hill over there that I've got to take the logs over in order to get them down to my little cart and take them back to the cabin. So that would be tremendously problematic for me prior to these logs drying out. And we're now in the range of this being a possibility. I can in fact I can do it, you know. Even if I had to lift one end and move that and then lift the other end, move that, I could walk it all the way up the hill and over the hill. So that's going to work. So let's check the other ones. So, oh, that's so light. That's really easily handled, and these will become lighter still. I've been carrying around a piece of this sycamore in my pocket, and it feels like a piece of paper now. It's dried out in my pocket, and such a contrast to the wet wood. Now this one is it's about 3.5 meters long, and I want to keep it like that. And let's try this one. Yeah, easily lifted. I'm not saying it's lightweight. By no means is it lightweight, but that's a thing that I can also move. So there, three of the worst there. This thing is razor sharp, and I keep clipping my coat with it. I'm going to end up sawing my coat into shreds. Here's a one here that I lay down to dry. I guess it's equivalent to one of those, one of the smaller ones. Let's try this. Let's see how this lifts. Ooh. That one's quick. That one for its size is really still quite heavy. But that was one of the later ones that I cut. And this thing here, this is a log. With these deciduous trees, in order to get a straight piece of wood, you have to be looking around for sections that run through. So you see, that really only runs through to about there. And then to there, so depending on how much you take off, you can get a length of wood that runs through that long. But after that, it wanders around. Now if you want a straight piece of wood, well, it depends on the distance you're talking about. So this is not a straight piece of wood, but over short sections it kind of is, you know. So there's a section of 3 and 4 feet and so on. So that's how you work your wood with a deciduous wood. Now this thing, I tried cutting it, but obviously the angle that it's at, it's closing in on the saw blade, and it's making that hard work. So I think I'm just not going to bother with that, and I'm going to cut that with the with the chainsaw when I get back. And in fact, that wood is not really that true. That's under consideration for possibly being chopped in half. We'll see. We'll see. But anyway, there's adequate wood here for all of my benches and shelves and everything. And the other sites consist of the second site is the second site is the one with the big fat logs, but shorter, which are for the bed. And then you've got this one last log, which is the only log I've decided to split down the middle. You've got to experiment with doing things different ways. Now, I damn well know this one's going to still be heavy. This is still going to be a monster. But let's give it a go anyway. It's difficult to film this and do it at the same time, but here goes. Put my hand down. Oh, that is still a beast. That is still a beast. So what do we do about that? Well, what I gotta do is carry on drying it. And I had previously been cutting along that groove in there, which is turn. See if I can turn it over. Yeah, I've got this groove in here, which I was sawing through. I purchased some builder's marking string. You can put a really good tension on it, and I'm going to tie that round the log to the other side so as to get a straight line on the other side, decide where I'm going to make the other cut, and then get the two to join up. I think that'll be an easier way to do it. So I'm going to continue machining through this. Well, that immediately makes the log 50% of the weight, and that's manageable. And then a bit more drying, because I've cut through it, and it'll dry really rapidly then I will then I can take them out individually, and they'll be relatively lightweight. And also they'll be quite, I'm going to use what you call a flattening router to make the plane surfaces flat, but I will be also be able to readily flatten these, because they're already in a condition that I need them to be in. And then that's it. And I've got various other scraps of logs here and there for little jobs. I don't know what yet, but if I need a piece for a little job, like for example this thing, you can get a bit arty with. This is just the top of a tree, which you'd normally leave to rot. But what I can do is I can cut a section out of that, cut back all the branches to short lengths, and stand that against one wall and screw it up against the wall, and use it as a sort of hat stand, coat hanger, all kind of things on there. So that's it. The wood over there, some short sections, long piece here, this very long one here, and this, which is my masterpiece that I'm waiting to see how that turns out. And that's it. At site number 2, I was there last night, and I'm now able to roll the logs readily. I can easily roll them with my foot. I just could not do that. That's the big logs, the alder logs, which are for the cabin roof system, to the pillars to hold the cabin up. This wood here is sycamore, which is just adorable. It's just lovely, lovely wood to work with. Yeah, I think all in, I quite like eucalyptus wood in Portugal, but that's very hard. It's hard work, hard to work with. But this stuff is like kind of a pleasure to work with. It's not brutal on the saws and the machinery and everything, and you can make progress, you know. So I guess this is my favorite now. Okay, somebody's calling me now, so I'd better go. Makita tayo sa kana. See you later at the lago. Bye for now. Jesus be with you.